Hello, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Making It Happen. I'm your host, Mike D. Remember, this is the show where we get you some information that can help you make some things happen, and more importantly, we talk to guests that are making things happen locally and frankly all over the place, maybe, who knows. And before we get to this episode's guest, what I want to remind you to do is if you have any questions for me, or if you think you'd be a good guest for the show, please go to my website and contact me through there. It's askmiked.com. All right, with that out of the way, let's get to our guest. Our guest today is Sensei Carl Young. And Carl Young is the founder of Beyond the Belt Martial Arts right here in Laconia. Sensei Young, good to have you on. And I know you also brought your bodyguards with you, which I don't understand why this guy needs bodyguards. And we have with us Gary and Jay. You know, the reason why I thought you'd be a good guest for the show is because young people, it's so important to kind of get to them and help them with their character at a young age. You kind of build them up and set them up for success. And we talk on this show, we talk to a lot of people that have great information to share. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on. So let's talk about how maybe through martial arts, a young person can learn some of these character skills for success, and get in shape and have fun, I guess, along the way.
I started off doing martial arts when I was 5 years old. My parents both got me involved because I was definitely the kind of kid that had a little bit too much energy. I didn't really have the focus that I needed for school and other activities. And basically I decided they needed to find something that I could channel some energy into.
Right.
It was actually my father who decided to get into martial arts because he had been doing it for about 2 to 3 years before they decided to get me involved. I think my mom was kind of that parent that had the stipulation that, you know, why if my son has a few disciplinary issues or focus issues, why would we want to now, on top of that, teach him how to punch and kick?
Right.
You know, so I think, and that's one of the biggest things why I'm so excited to be here, to kind of, to get that out of people's heads and to really teach them that martial arts goes so far beyond the punching and kicking.
Right.
So, you know, we got involved in the martial arts when I was 5, and it was probably only a year or 2 years into it that my mom finally, you know, came on board with the whole idea and really
she
saw
was
what
converted.
it was doing. She got converted,
Okay.
That's right. Yep, that's awesome. So, I mean, and I've been training ever since. You know, I took a small break in high school. Martial arts teaches such great core values to kids.
Right.
And I think, you know, that's the stipulation that we got to kill about the martial arts, you know, is that martial arts helps kids, that they help to channel that energy in a positive way.
Right.
You know, and martial arts doesn't just help the kid that needs the focus, it helps the kid that may need the discipline. Maybe is having trouble, maybe he is the bully at school, or maybe it's the student that's getting bullied at school.
And you had a child go through martial arts, so
Yes, he's been with Sensei Carl now for almost 5 years.
right.
He's scheduled to get his black belt later this fall. So, and going with what you were just talking about, we signed Jamie up with the idea of more towards the exercise end of things, the kicking and punching.
Physical activity, because
because
there's a lot of there wasn't many video games back then. I don't know how old you are, but you probably remember Nintendo and Genesis.
Yeah,
now
that's
there's
about
all
it.
over the
When I was
place, you
getting
know.
older.
Exactly, and he enjoys that. And fortunately for us, he's also very athletic and does other sports. But we wanted to get him involved with martial arts because I did train a little bit as a kid as well. But what we found through Sensei Carl very quickly was way beyond the physical, the physical end of it, the athletics, the discipline, the respect.
Right.
And for Jamie, the biggest thing that I see with him is the self-confidence that is built. He idolizes this man and does pretty much
In a good way, though.
In a very
Right.
good way. I mean,
As a role model.
Absolutely.
Right.
And if Jamie grows up to be just like Sensei Carl, then I knock on wood, we will be very happy.
You've done a good job.
Yeah, and so is he. And you know, obviously as a parent, we have our job. But as he gets older here, and he's 11 years old, and as he gets older here, he's entering into the most dangerous portion of his life.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be faced with some very negative outside influences. And I've talked to Sensei Carl about this several times. I truly believe the last 5 years of his life have put him in a position to make the right choices down the road.
Basically, you're saying some of the confidence that you see that he has is going to help him make his own decisions and not be.
Yeah, he is a leader. He's not a follower. And
Right.
and you know, at this age, especially now that he's getting a little bit older, he doesn't listen so much to me. He thinks he knows more than I do in a lot of ways. And what he gets in that class the other day, one of the mat chats, I could tell right off the bat it affected him. Because every time when we leave class, we're both pumped. And we get in the car and we talk about it. And he sat in the car and just stood still. And it happened to be on how to control your temper if something bad happens to you.
Right.
Think about if that guy's being a bully, think about what happened to him prior to him being a bully to you. And it really affected him. And he would never have listened to me the way he listened to Carl that day.
Right.
And so, I mean, way beyond the physical things, he's getting an education.
What was the inspiration to say, all right, now I want to share this, what I've learned with others?
I'm glad you asked that. I would say when I was about 22, I took a little break through high school. And when I came back and I was 22, I got back involved in the martial arts. And then I started to teach. And there were some, really defined moments in my life when I would start to teach the kids class and start to realize that, wow, they do look up to me. Why do they look up to me? And when I started to realize that, it started to make me even a better person. I had climbed up the ladder and made it to a certain step, but I hadn't really climbed any further. And I think once I started to realize what the martial arts was doing for their life, I looked back and realized what the martial arts had done for me in my life.
Right.
And that's when it just took on this, I guess you'd call it a passion. Oh, it was a passion, And I really decided that from that moment on, I knew what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. I wanted to teach children martial arts, and I wanted to influence their life in a positive way because of all the negative influences that they're surrounded by every day.
Now Jay, what is your involvement too? Because you're bodyguard number 2 today.
Yeah. I actually started training with Carl 3 years ago.
Right.
And it was really, I was just kind of at a point in my life where I was busy with work and kind of felt that my life was really too busy. I wasn't working out. I was kind of eating very unhealthily.
You were eating the sandwiches we were talking about.
Exactly, the KFC double stack or whatever it was. Eating fast food all the time. And I was starting to feel bad every day. And I just, I became friends with him through mutual friends and whatnot, and just decided to start in the kickboxing class, which is, half aerobics and half skills. And it really just kicked something in. It really triggered.
Pardon the pun.
Yeah, exactly. Being a kid again, enjoying it. Because I did, getting back to the other subjects. I tried martial arts when I was a little kid, and I went to the YMCA here in Laconia, and it felt like Cobra Kai. You went, and all the little kids had their egos, and everybody wanted to be better than everybody else. And I didn't last long because I didn't like it. But it would have been something that would have been great for me. So then when I started in, it just kind of felt like this is what I've been missing all my life. And it really got me in really great shape. I started eating better, talking with Carl about what I should be eating, kind of turning my whole life around. And then past the kickboxing, I got into the jiu-jitsu and a lot of the real skills. And now I'm at the adult MMA program at Beyond the Belt. And I just love it. It's great. It has changed my life. I'm in wonderful shape. And it has actually just really built my confidence. I always thought I was a confident person anyway, but it really has just taken everything to the next level.
When you're looking for a school, okay, when you walk in, you need to be looking at, you want to actually watch a class happen. You want to really know up front. You want to ask the people that run the school, what are their values? What do they teach? Okay, what is my child going to learn beyond just the karate part? And you want to ask that, and instructors should know that about their school. What are they teaching these kids? And then next, and really one of the most important things, is the instructor. It has to be a good fit. Okay,
Right.
You're probably going to see, at my school I have multiple instructors, but you have to find the instructor and you have to make sure it's a good fit with the child. And obviously you want to make sure you're in a nice, clean environment, and that really is important because a lot of dojos, we have to remember that not only the kids are training in this dojo, but there's adults like Jay, right?
Right.
And Jay sweats a lot more than a child does, so we need to make sure that those mats are clean at the end of the day.
I
Yeah.
certainly appreciate you stopping by.
Hey, thank you very much,
All
man.
right.
Hey,
And
thank you very
guys,
much.
Thanks for coming by. All right, so this is Mike D for Making It Happen. Remember, if you have an idea or you want to get in contact with me or you think maybe you'd be a good guest for the show, please get in contact with me through my website at askmiked.com. Talk to you next time.